Hey y'all, my name is Adina Barnett Miller, but I'm known to my students as Mrs. B. I've been passionate about West Virginia history for as long as I can remember, but my mom would tell you it all started when I was 3 years old and she bought me a West Virginia counties puzzle at Gino's Pizza. I've taught history in Ripley, West Virginia for over 20 years now, and I'm an adjunct professor who teaches college West Virginia history to high school students. Please join me for West Virginia History with Mrs. B, a field trip across the mountain state to walk in the footsteps of those who came before us. So, one of the new signs that are going up all across West Virginia and beyond are these legends and lore signs. I really love them. This one is from the West Virginia Humanities Council and the WV Coalfields Foundation. These are brand new. This one was established in 2019. And so this sign is in honor of legend Sid Hatfield. Sid was known as Smilin Sid. He had gold teeth in the front of his mouth and he had this big teethy grin. Sid is going to be the sheriff of Matewan, West Virginia. Sid was born in Kentucky and he is related to the Hatfields of the Hatfield-McCoys distantly. So he is one of those folks. Sid was in the military. He fought in World War I. Sid even worked in the mines, though he said he was never going to work in the mines again, just because of the conditions. He was very pro coal miner, but he was not pro coal mining for himself. That's why he gets a job in law enforcement. And so Sid is the sheriff of Matewan when the Battle of Matewan happens in the spring of 1921. Okay, so Sid. What happens is train comes into town, it lets passengers off, including several detectives from the Baldwin Phelps Detective Agency. They get off the train. Their job is to go down the road to evict coal miners from their homes. Because remember, everything that the coal miners have, everything they own, they get through the company or they buy from the company. And so if you're on strike, then you're not paying the company for your house. And so the Baldwin Phelps come into Matewan. This is the train station. They get off, they head out. They're going to go evict coal miners out of their homes. When they come back into town, Sid's had enough. No one knows who fired the first shot, but what ends up happening is the Battle of Matewan is going to be Baldwin Phelps detectives who are employed by the coal company shooting at Sid Hatfield and union organizers for the mine. And by the time that the shooting ends, there's 7 dead detectives. The mayor of Matewan has been shot and killed, and this story breaks in his national news. So Sid will be put on trial for murder for the Matewan, what they call the Battle of Matewan and the Matewan Massacre. He or his deputy be found guilty for that. Baldwin Phelps, who really want to get Sid, the rumor is that they went and shot up a coal tipple over in McDowell County to try and get Sid brought up on Trump charges. And so that's what ends up happening is Sid and his deputy Ed Chambers are brought up on trumped up charges of destroying a mine tipple. And so they have to go to Welch on the train to go for their trial. And so their wives travel with them. The owners of the Baldwin Phelps Detective Agency are going to be on the train, and they follow Sid all the way from Matewan to Welch. They follow them through town, and when Sid walks up the stairs to the McDowell County Courthouse, he and Ed get to the top, and there are Baldwin Phelps waiting for them, and they mow them down in gunfire. And so Sid never made it to his trial. Sid was killed on the steps in the McDowell County Courthouse. Why is that important? Sid was beloved by the miners. Sid was one of the few elected officials, well, not elected officials, but public officials in West Virginia that always stood for the miners. And so Sid's death is going to enrage miners all across the state of West Virginia. And his death leads to tens of thousands of miners marching from Kanawha, Boone, into Logan County, trying to get here to Mingo to avenge his death. Of course, they don't make it. They get stopped at Blair Mountain. But Sid was so beloved, thousands of people came out for his funeral, and they carried him across this bridge over to Kentucky to bury him. And his death leads into an entire war in 1922. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to West Virginia History with Mrs. B on both Facebook and YouTube.